The first witness for the defense has just been sworn in, and she is about to...
First witness for defense. This is Lagrant Anthony. I'm starting a analysis of the Trayvon Martin trial, an analysis of the testimony that is given. So sit back and listen to the trial and my analysis and critique of what's being said to you and what I think is the meaning of what is being said. As you can see, hopefully as you can hear also, is a CNN broadcast of this telecast. We have now starting the first witness for the defense in this case. The state is rested, and the defense is now giving their evidence in this case of self-defense.
Trayvon Martin's mother and brother, that they were both convinced that it was Trayvon Martin's voice screaming on that 911 tape. Sonny and Mark, stand by for us there in Sanford, Florida. We will be right back with you. We're going to get in a quick commercial break.
Commercial break. I'll give you some commentary on what I heard earlier while we're on this commercial break. Well, what I heard earlier before the state closed their case and their evidence was, let's go all the way back to this medical examiner that came on the stand and was given testimony, and he started reading from some notes that he had made, his personal notes. He started reading from the notes, and that opened a whole new can of worms, because now once he started reading from the notes, those notes are now need to be made available, or should have been made available to the prosecution, the opposite side, before coming to trial. So now this fool came into court and started reading from personal notes that he had made, and that opened up a whole new can of worms, because now these personal notes are supposed to be given to the defense attorney. And if you saw it, it was if there was any information written on those personal notes that stated that he had talked to the prosecution about the case and had prepared his testimony, that evidence would be very damning against their case. So the defense attorney was extremely glad and smiling once he saw this fool reading from personal notes that had never been revealed to the defense attorney, because the first thing that he could say now is that those notes and his responses were not genuine, but were prepared responses that were prepared with the assistance of the district attorney. That would be an argument and cross-examination that could be made without even reading the notes. But if he read the notes and found out that there were statements on there or comments about the district attorney, what the district attorney said, or meeting with the district attorney, that could turn into a very disastrous scene for the state. And there was an evidentiary issue that was made that this information should have been made available to the other side before coming to trial, but they were not. So they had a hearing, and the judge found out that there was nothing, even though it was indicated that this medical examiner did meet with the prosecution the day before. There was no information that was shared by the medical examiner with the prosecution that was different than what the prosecution had given to the state. So there was no evidence that was required to be given to the defense attorney that was not given to the defense attorney. So the judge denied the Richardson motion that was made by the defense. But that was a very scary scene for the state, because the medical examiner, he was giving some very scandalous, and he was acting very biased and like he was hiding something. He wasn't, not being very truthful about his testimony, and to get an issue going about these personal notes as if his testimony was something that was created by the state, added to his lack of credibility. So, you know, this medical examiner was almost completely blew the state's case out of the water, but not for the outcome of that Richardson case, that Richardson motion. So the next thing that I was very concerned about was the fact that the state put the damn mother on as a witness before she put the medical examiner on. The last witness for the state should have been the mother and the father. But the last witness for the state was this diabolical idiot medical examiner that made a very bad showing for the state's case. So now the witnesses, the jury is looking at the state's case in a very negative and a very sour manner after hearing the dubious testimony of this medical examiner. The last witness of the most powerful witness for the state should have been the mother. The most emotional and the most powerful witness for the state should have been the mother and the father. That's two things. Why in the world did the state not present the evidence of the father saying that this is my son that I hear on this tape? The state only presented the evidence of the mother. The state only presented the mother as a witness to identify the voice of her son on the 911 tape. What's up with this? The burden of proof is on you. What's up, state? Why didn't you present the testimony of the father? Why didn't you call the father? What does that say about the father? Something wrong with the man? I don't understand. The burden of proof is on you. You got the mother and the father that should be presented in this case as your witnesses. However, you only chose the mother. Is the testimony of the black man not credible? What's up? I don't understand. Maybe the state trying to lose this case on purpose. I don't understand why they didn't present this powerful evidence of a parent that would identify a very crucial issue, that would identify the voice of her son crying for help. They had to witness the testimony of the mother only, and not the father. Now they did have the testimony of the brother, but the brother, from what I recall, seems to say that, oh, it might have been his voice, it might not. I wouldn't have put his ass on the stand if he's going to say that's not Trayvon's voice. If he's going to say, I don't know, that ain't helping me out. That's putting doubt in the mind of the jury. So why would you put a damn witness on your behalf up and testify to some evidence and give testimony that would create doubt in the mind of the damn jury? Is the state trying to lose the case on purpose? I wouldn't doubt it. Why would you put the damn brother up and not the father? I wouldn't have put the brother up because he didn't give any evidence that would help our case. But you did exclude the father. Why did you exclude the father's testimony? Well, that just goes to show you that, I tell you, life is more, this is more than vanity. They didn't present the father, and then one of the worst things of all, they didn't put the mother up as the last witness. The most dynamic part of your trial, the most dynamic part of your evidence, and the most dynamic presentation of your case should have been your last witness to leave a lasting impression on the mind of the jury. That witness should have been the mother, identifying that crying voice on the 911 tape as her son. I tell you, this is not a first-year trial attorney. And everybody in the damn world knows that a witness such as the mother in a case like this should have been the last witness for the state to leave lasting impression on the mind of the jury. I wouldn't doubt that the damn state is trying to lose this case, because the law enforcement agency down there in Sanford, Florida is a racist ass law enforcement agency. If not for the publicity that was given to this case, we would not be here talking and in trial. Zimmerman shot the boy and told the police, "Hey, the nigga tried to beat me up, so I had to shoot him." And the police said, "Well, okay. So go on home, don't worry about it. Self-defense. Don't worry about it. We're not going to arrest you." And that's exactly what they did. Zimmerman shot this boy and killed him, and the police refused to arrest him based only on Zimmerman's testimony. The police department, the law enforcement department in Sanford, Florida, decided that they were going to be judge and jury and decide that Zimmerman killing of Trayvon was self-defense, and he should not even be arrested. Go home and forget about it. And that was the status quo of this case until it became public. Yeah, we wouldn't be here now. The bias and institutional racism down there in Sanford, Florida was presented at the beginning of this case. They didn't even arrest Zimmerman. They let him go. They wouldn't even arrest him. They let him go based only on the evidence and the word of mouth of George Zimmerman. That it had been a black man that shot George Zimmerman and killed him, they wouldn't have only arrested him and beat his ass and put him in jail. And he'd be guilty. It'd probably only a 2-3 day trial. 2 or 3 day trial, and that would have been the end of it. No, but now it was a white man that shot a black boy. And as a result, as expected down there in Sanford, Florida, they didn't arrest him. They said, "Go away. Yeah, this is how we deal with stuff down here. You know, we're not going to arrest you, and you go on home. It was self-defense. You said it was self-defense. We believe you. It's self-defense. We believe you." Nigga tried to beat you up, what you say? You got to show them niggas that they cannot be trying to come in our neighborhood and you know, we're going to send a message with this. Niggas need to stay out of our neighborhood. Otherwise, you can get shot and killed, and we're going to claim self-defense, and nobody going to jail. And that's exactly what happened until this case became public. And what's that clown name? Not Jesse Jackson, but Al Sharpton went down there and started raising hell and boycotting and making noise, and he got the case on TV and overcame the status quo of that racist system down there in Sanford, Florida, and it became public, and it became well known that what Sanford, Florida had did, institutional racism, and so they decided to go ahead on and indict Zimmerman for this case, because now the world was looking. Now the world was looking, just like in South Africa. They had some people in apartheid for years until it became televised. Then, after it became televised, you know, apartheid in South Africa was taken apart. Same thing happened down there in Sanford, Florida. Another system of apartheid. They killed the boy and said, "Nobody gonna be charged with it. This is how we deal with stuff down here," until it became public.